So this is going to be a bit of a vulnerable post to talk in front of the camera about this, but I'm going to go ahead and film it. So I'm in my early 40s, I don't have any kids yet, I'm unemployed due to health issues, and I'm trying to find ways to earn an income, considering that I've got a lot of brain fog and I suffer a lot of chronic pain. So it has to be something that I can do in my own time, as and when I feel up to doing it. So in this video, I'm just going to go through things I've tried, made a little bit of money from, and things I'm waiting on. Maybe it'll help inspire somebody else. So let's dive in. The first thing I tried was creating a recipe ebook. And it's the first time I've ever created a digital product of any kind. I've got a small following on social media, so I thought, why not try a recipe ebook and see if people are willing to buy it and maybe even support me on my journey. With all the recipes that actually my wife's been creating them, but I decided to collate them into a recipe ebook. I used Canva, and after picking out specific recipes that I thought people would like and the things that I used to eat often, I created it, I put it together and got it reviewed with my wife just to make sure the ingredients are correct and the instructions. And then I shared it on social media and it did pretty well, like considering it's my first digital product and actually the first thing I've ever sold or made income from apart from having a corporate job. So it was pretty surprising to me. I think I sold around, between 60 and 70 ebooks. And I think I made around $800, which I was pleasantly surprised. I actually put it onto Etsy at first, but I think after around 50 sales, they closed my account down. They suspended me for no reason whatsoever. I tried to ask if there's anything that they'd want me to rectify or change, and I was happy to do it. They didn't get back to me and they just said I was completely suspended from buying and selling anything on Etsy, and that was my first experience on Etsy because I've never really used it before. So then I switched over to Payhip and I got a few extra sales on there, which was great. And I think in total it was around the $800 mark, and I was pretty happy. I mean, I've never really earned that much outside of a job before, so that was awesome. And I actually used those funds to purchase Final Cut Pro so that I can edit videos like this and keep pursuing things that I enjoy and want to do. The next thing I tried to sell was photography. I've had a bit of time on my hands to learn how to use a camera to take pictures, and this was actually before I started using it for YouTube videos. And I gained a whole collection of photos on my SD card on my camera, and I just didn't know what to do with them. I learned how to use Lightroom Mobile to edit the photos, and yeah, I was pretty impressed by what you can do, the power of software and shooting in RAW format. It got me excited to learn and keep doing more of it. And then I thought, why not try selling it on my social media platforms? So then I did, and I put them all up on my Payhip website. I shared it on my social media stories, and I sold a whopping 3 photos, which not much, but they were around $15 each. So, I made $45 minus the cut that Payhip take and PayPal. It kind of ended there. I don't think many people were interested. I guess it's understandable. My page really isn't about photography, so it isn't really the right target audience. But yeah, that's the second thing I tried. The next thing I tried was completing surveys, online surveys, because you see it on TikTok all the time, and I thought, why not try and do the same? So I kind of just looked on TikTok to find out what's a popular one and what's a reliable one that I could use. And the one that came up was Pure Profile. So I downloaded the app, I started completing my information, I started doing some of the surveys. There weren't many that popped up. And in terms of the amount of time I spent versus how much I actually made, I made about 75 cents. And I just thought, this isn't really worth it. And I have a feeling that I wasn't the right demographic, because I guess my situation is a little different from the majority, and I don't know if it's also an age thing, but most of the people on TikTok were a lot younger, in their 20s, and I'm in my 40s, so that could possibly be a reason why I wasn't really getting many surveys. So then I just thought, oh, okay, I don't think this is worth my time, and it was a lot of personal information that I was giving away, and I just felt uncomfortable. So after making a whopping 75 cents, I just deleted the app and got rid of it, and decided I'm not really going to do surveys anymore. I didn't enjoy it at all. That leads me on to the next thing. Once again, while I was on TikTok, a lot of people were talking about a website called datainnovation.tech, where it comes across as more of a legitimate job, helping the AI algorithm. I think it's more about fine-tuning AI queries and providing feedback on data that AI can produce, and whether it's helpful or harmful. And it's something that you can do in your own time whenever you want, and for as long as you want. And you get paid around, I think it's in US dollars, $20 an hour. And if you know coding, then you get paid around $40 an hour, and which I don't. You have to first take a 45-minute kind of initiation test, and it took me a lot longer than 45 minutes, but I got it done. It tells you whether you passed, and I passed straight away, which is great. So I was on to the next stage, which is the qualifying stage. So you can either take a coding test or a reading and writing. So I opted for that one. Once again, it's estimated about 45 minutes, and I think this is pretty much the final stage. So if you pass this, then you get the job. Some of the questions were a little bit confusing for me, but I think I did pretty well. I think I answered them accurately and to the best of my knowledge, but I did take a lot longer than the estimated amount, actually double the time. And it's been 1 to 2 weeks maybe since I completed that, and I haven't heard back. So it's only if you pass will they email you to let you know, so then you can start getting work. I guess I'm just going to stay hopeful and see what happens, but that's over and done with, and if it comes through, then great. Then I can start doing that every now and then. And that brings me on to the final thing I'm trying to do, which is grow my YouTube channel. Now, up to this time of recording, I've published around 31 videos, and I've done a lot of tech reviews, a little bit of finance, some life lessons, but mainly revolving around my honest opinion on gadgets and appliances that you use around the home. And I've only got under 300 subscribers, 291 to be specific. I just remember checking it earlier today. And to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch hours. The watch hours is doing pretty well. I've got around 3,200, so that's not too far off, because I did an Instant Pot video and it did really well. I think it reached around 25,000 views. I must admit, it is quite difficult to stay motivated to keep on creating it. However, I really do enjoy making videos. It just gives me a chance to, I guess, express my thoughts, feelings, what I like doing, the things I like using, and my personal opinion from experience. And it also breaks some, I guess, it gets me out of my comfort zone, because talking to a camera isn't easy whatsoever. So yeah, the whole experience has been pretty enjoyable. Editing, not so much, but you know, it has to be done if you want to get it out there. And it's very time consuming, so it's actually perfect. It's something that I like doing, and it keeps me occupied while I'm unemployed. But let's see, I'm just going to keep on creating videos and just going to keep my fingers crossed. So one day I'll get there and then maybe earn a few dollars here and there. And I started creating videos about a year and a half ago, took a long break last year, but I'm just going to see how this goes, and I'm trying to be as authentic and real as possible on camera. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange video. It's a vulnerable one for me, yet educational one based on types of side hustles I've tried. But I'd be curious to know what worked well for you. Just if you've resonated with anything that I've said on this video, I'd love to hear about it. So anyway, take care, and I'll catch you again soon.